Does an INFJ female often feel misunderstood, despite being incredibly intuitive? Like no one really gets the way she sees the world. If she's nodding, chances are she might be an INFJ female. And trust me, she's not alone, INFJ females. If she knows, she knows. She's rare. Like, really rare. She makes up less than 2% of the population, and yet, she holds a power that's undeniable. It's like she's got this unique mix of deep empathy, intuition, and a burning desire to make the world a better place. But let's be real, sometimes those traits can feel like a double-edged sword. Today, we're talking about the habits that make INFJ females stand out. If she finds herself checking off a few of these, she'll know exactly what I mean. But if not, well, maybe it's time to think about how these habits can unlock the best version of her. Here's the thing. Being an INFJ female can sometimes feel like living in a world that doesn't get her. Social situations, often draining, she might feel like an outsider looking in, and that emotional burnout, yeah, it hits hard. All that energy she pours into others, into causes she cares about, can leave her feeling drained if she's not careful. And honestly, who can blame her for feeling like that? She feels things deeply sometimes, a little too deeply. It can be exhausting. So, let's talk about the habits that define her. The things she does every day that most people don't even notice, but that shape who she is. 1. Deep empathy. She probably finds herself feeling what others feel before they even say anything. Like she just knows. It's almost like she has this invisible connection to people, one that goes beyond words and actions. She can pick up on the slightest shift in someone's mood, even when no one else notices. Whether it's a friend trying to hide her sadness or a stranger's subtle discomfort, she senses it, like a radar. Sometimes, she doesn't even need to hear the words. The energy in the room speaks louder than any conversation could. This isn't just a habit, it's part of who she is. The intensity of her empathy makes her attuned to the emotional states of others in a way that's almost surreal. She doesn't just observe, she feels. This deep sense of connection can be incredibly powerful, but it's not always easy to manage. She may feel overwhelmed by the emotions of others, carrying their burdens as if they were her own. At times, it's like her emotional energy becomes a sponge, soaking up everything around her. This can lead to moments of exhaustion, where she needs to retreat to recharge. It's not that she doesn't care, it's the opposite. She cares deeply, sometimes to the point of putting others' needs above her own. It can be draining too, constantly absorb the world's emotional weight. But here's the thing, this ability to empathize is what makes her a true healer. When someone needs comfort or advice, they gravitate toward her because they feel understood in a way that's rare. She doesn't judge, doesn't offer empty words. Instead, she listens. She listens deeply, with all of her heart, and she knows exactly how to respond. She's the person who can tell when a friend is struggling, even if that friend never says a word. The way she shows up for people, the way she offers a shoulder to lean on is something that's truly special. Yet this gift can sometimes feel like a burden, especially when she feels the weight of emotions she didn't ask to take on. It can be isolating when no one seems to understand just how much she feels, how deeply her soul resonates with others. She wishes at times she could turn it off, but she can't. It's a part of her, and it's also what makes her who she is. So, while it's not always easy, her deep empathy is what allows her to form connections that run deep, connections that can heal, support, and uplift others. In a world that often feels disconnected, she's a rare gift, an emotional anchor. She's not just there for people, she feels for them, and that makes all the difference. If this resonates with you, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. Are you an INFJ? I'd love to know what it's like for you. 2. Overthinking. Yeah, she's been there. The what ifs and did I say the right thing moments, they pop up unexpectedly, clouding her mind with endless possibilities and questions that never seem to have clear answers. She plays conversations over and over, analyzing every word she said and wondering if she could have said something better. It's like a constant loop of doubt and second-guessing. She replays interactions, looking for hidden meanings or signs she missed. In the moment, did she come off too strong? Did she sound too distant? She can't help but obsess over these little details, even when others have long since moved on. It's a habit that feels uncontrollable at times, like her brain has its own agenda. And it's not just social situations, it extends to her work, her relationships, and even the small daily choices. Should she have taken that job? Was she too quick to trust that person? Every decision is examined from every angle, overthinking every potential outcome. It's exhausting, draining her energy and peace of mind, leaving her mentally worn out. But here's the truth, this constant analysis comes from a place of care. She wants to get things right. She wants to make sure she's doing the best she can, both for herself and for others. Her intentions are always rooted in doing good, in creating harmony, in avoiding mistakes that could hurt anyone. This drive to be perfect, to say the right thing, to make the right choice, is what keeps her striving for excellence. It's not about being paranoid or insecure, it's about making sure that everything aligns with her values. Every decision carries weight because, to her, nothing is ever truly small. She has this deep sense of responsibility, whether it's to her loved ones or to the projects she cares about. So when she overthinks, it's because she genuinely wants to avoid conflict, disappointment, or regret. She wishes there was an off button, a way to silence those endless questions and doubts. But in a way, it's also what pushes her. To grow. Overthinking might feel overwhelming, but it's part of her process. It pushes her to analyze, reflect, and improve. It's her way of learning from every experience. Still, there are times when this habit can feel like a trap, where her mind spirals too far and she gets stuck in a loop. The trick, though, is recognizing that while her thoughts might race, she doesn't need to follow them. She can let go of the need for perfection and allow herself to simply be. Key is finding balance, recognizing that she doesn't have to have all the answers right now. Are you guilty of overthinking, or maybe this sounds like your experience? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet. 3. Alone time. INFJ. Females need solitude to recharge. It's not about being antisocial, it's about protecting her energy. She's deeply in tune with the world around her, constantly absorbing emotions, information, and energy from everyone she encounters. After spending time with people, even those she loves, she can feel emotionally drained. It's not that she doesn't enjoy the company, it's just that too much social interaction can leave her feeling like she's run out of fuel. For her, alone time is a necessity, not a luxury. It's the space where she can regain her strength, where she can pause and simply be. In those quiet moments, she finds clarity. It's not that she's avoiding people, it's just that she needs to step back to process everything that's happened. Her mind is constantly working, analyzing interactions, sorting through emotions, and trying to make sense of everything. Alone time gives her the opportunity to let her thoughts settle, to clear the mental clutter that accumulates from the outside world. It's during these moments that she reconnects with herself. Without the noise of external expectations, she can hear her own voice again. She can reflect on her own feelings, her own needs, without the influence of others. This solitude is a form of self-care, a way for her to restore the balance that's essential to her well-being. It's like recharging her emotional batteries. If she doesn't have this time to herself, she risks becoming overwhelmed and emotionally exhausted, unable to fully show up for others. But here's the thing. This time isn't about being lonely, it's about finding peace and stillness. She doesn't need constant external stimulation to feel fulfilled. In fact, it's often in those quiet, solitary moments that she feels most connected to her true self. Alone time allows her to dream, to plan, and to reflect on her bigger purpose. It's when she feels most aligned with her values, where she can look at her life from a distance and see what's working and what isn't. It's a vital part of her process, a way of filtering out the noise so she can focus on what really matters. People might misunderstand her need for solitude, assuming that it's because she doesn't like socializing, but the truth is, INFJ females are just selective about where they invest their energy. She craves depth over quantity, which is why spending time alone is where she feels the most at peace. It's not about escaping the world, it's about reconnecting with herself so she can show up better for others. For helping others, she's a fixer. If someone's struggling, she feels this pull to help, even if she's already stretched thin. She can't ignore the pain or the need in others, even when her own reserves are low. It's like this invisible force drives her to step in, to offer a listening ear, or a shoulder to lean on. When others are hurting, it feels like her purpose is clear: to help, to heal, to make things better, no matter the personal cost. It's not that she doesn't need help herself, but she just can't turn her back on someone in need. The moment someone opens up, she's all in, absorbing their pain and struggles as if they're her own. It doesn't matter how exhausted she is, if she can offer comfort or guidance, she will. But here's the thing. She has this incredible ability to heal others, to see them for who they really are. She doesn't just listen on the surface level, she dives deep into understanding the person, recognizing the root of their struggles. She sees beyond the words they say or the image they project. She can sense the unspoken emotions, the fears they hide, and the dreams they've almost given up on. This ability to truly see people for who they are, at their core, is what makes her such a powerful source of support. It's not just about offering advice or solutions, it's about helping others feel heard, validated, and understood. In a world where so many people wear masks, she can recognize the person beneath the surface. She can gently guide them to see their own worth, to heal from the pain they carry, and to step into their full potential. Her empathy and insight create a safe space for others to open up and be vulnerable. She doesn't judge, doesn't push, just holds space and allows people to come to their own conclusions. In some ways, she becomes a mirror, reflecting the strength and beauty in others that they may not be able to see themselves. But there's a downside to this gift. It can be draining. She often gives so much of herself to others that she forgets to fill her own cup. She can be so focused on healing others that she neglects her own needs. The desire to help can sometimes lead to burnout, leaving her emotionally drained and vulnerable. But the truth is, this gift is part of who she is. It's not about saving everyone, but about offering what she can, when she can. And even when it feels exhausting, she continues to help, because she knows the power of being there for someone. In their darkest moments, helping others is her way of making the world a better place. one person at a time. If this hits home, hit like and comment below if you've embraced your need for alone time. And if you're an INFJ, you're definitely not alone. Subscribe for more content like this. 5. Big dreams, small circle. She's a visionary, but her inner circle, small. She's someone who dreams big, who sees possibilities that others might not even consider. Her mind is always racing with ideas, plans, and goals that are bigger than what most people can imagine. She has this ability to think far into the future, to see the bigger picture, and to create goals that are aligned with her deepest values. But even though her dreams are vast, her circle of people is very tight-knit. She doesn't trust easily, and that's okay. She's learned from experience that not everyone deserves a place in her life. Over time, she's become selective about who she lets in, because she knows the value of protecting her energy. Her trust isn't given lightly, it's earned through consistency, honesty, and genuine connection. She doesn't fall for surface-level friendships or casual acquaintances. For her, relationships are all about depth and authenticity. She craves connections that feel real, ones where she doesn't have to wear a mask. People who genuinely get her, who understand her complexity, are the ones she lets close. And when she does let someone in, it's not just a passing thing, it's an unbreakable bond. Once someone becomes part of her inner circle, they are there for the long haul. She's loyal to a fault and will protect her close friends with everything she has. Her loyalty is a rare thing, and she expects the same level of commitment in return. These relationships are built on trust, respect, and mutual understanding. She's not interested in keeping up with a huge group of people or being popular. The quantity of relationships doesn't matter to her, it's the quality that counts. She values the connections that feel deep, meaningful, and true. The people who make her feel seen, heard, and appreciated for exactly who she is. Her small circle might not be filled with a lot of people, but the ones who are in it are the ones who truly matter. They are her support system, the ones who see her struggles and celebrate her successes. With them, she doesn't have to hide parts of herself or pretend to be something she's not. They accept her flaws, her quirks, her dreams, and her vulnerabilities. In return, she gives them everything: her time, her energy, and her heart. She knows that these connections are rare, and she treasures them deeply. So while her circle may be small, it's made up of people who she trusts, who she loves, and who will be with her through every challenge and triumph. She knows the power of having a close-knit tribe, and that's enough for her. 6. Striving for harmony, conflict. She's not about it. She's someone who values peace and balance above all else. When there's tension in the air or when people around her are upset, she feels it deeply. The last thing she wants is to add fuel to the fire or make things worse. She believes in resolving issues quietly, in finding a way to restore peace without unnecessary drama. She doesn't enjoy confrontation, and honestly, she'd rather avoid it altogether if she can. If that means compromising a little or stepping back to give others space, she's willing to do it. For her, maintaining harmony is far more important than proving a point or being right. She can find the common ground, the middle path where everyone feels heard and understood. Even when she's facing a disagreement, she's often the one trying to smooth things over, to soften the edges, to create a sense of unity. She might even bite her tongue at times, not because she's afraid to speak up, but because she knows that sometimes silence can be more powerful than words. But here's the truth. Just because she avoids conflict doesn't mean she's weak. In fact, it takes immense strength and wisdom to take a step back and choose peace over argument. She understands that not every battle is worth fighting. She knows when to stand firm, but also when to let go. Her ability to navigate situations with grace and composure is what makes her strong, not her desire to avoid conflict. She knows that peace isn't just the absence of fighting, it's about understanding, compromise, and finding a way to coexist without resentment. This desire for harmony isn't about avoiding reality or sweeping problems under the rug. It's about recognizing what truly matters in the grand scheme of things. In the end, she knows that holding on to grudges or feeding into negativity only harms herself and the people around her. Instead, she chooses to focus on what she can control: the energy she brings to the table, the way she responds, and how she can foster understanding and kindness. She understands that peace requires effort, patience, and a willingness to let go of ego. It's a mindset, a way of living that allows her to rise above the noise and focus on what's truly important: relationships, connection, and emotional well-being. So, while she might shy away from conflict, it's not because she's scared, it's because she's wise enough to know that true strength lies in choosing peace when possible, and standing up for what really matters when necessary. 7. High standards. She holds herself and others to a high standard. She doesn't settle for mediocrity, not in herself, and certainly not in the people she surrounds herself with. When it comes to her own actions, she's her own harshest critic, always striving to be better, do better, and achieve more. She has a clear vision of what she wants in life, both personally and professionally, and she's determined to make it happen. This vision isn't vague, it's specific, detailed, and deeply aligned with her values. She knows exactly what she wants to accomplish. the kind of relationships she wants to build, and the impact she wants to make on the world. This clarity drives her, pushes her forward, and keeps her focused. But here's the thing, she doesn't just expect high standards of herself. She applies the same level of expectation to others too. She seeks relationships, whether with friends, family, or colleagues, that are based on mutual respect, growth, and authenticity. She doesn't tolerate shallow connections or people who aren't willing to put in the effort. If someone isn't meeting her standards, she won't hesitate to distance herself. That doesn't mean she's judgmental or harsh, it means she values herself too much to accept anything less than what she deserves. This can make things tough at times, especially when it comes to relationships. People may not always understand why she holds such high expectations, or they might feel intimidated by her drive and determination. But the truth is, her standards are a reflection of her own self-respect. She believes in herself and knows that she is worthy of the best, whether that's in her career, her friendships, or her love life. And when it comes to professional endeavors, her high standards make her a powerhouse. She doesn't settle for anything less than excellence in her work, and that's why she's often ahead of the game. She pours everything into her projects, making sure every detail is perfect, and she has the kind of dedication that inspires those around her. Her work ethic is unmatched, and it's a direct result of her high expectations. She's constantly pushing herself to improve, to take on new challenges, and to grow. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. And while having high standards can sometimes create friction in her personal life, it also means that when she commits to something or someone, she's all in. She gives 100%, and she expects the same in return. This commitment to excellence makes her a true powerhouse in everything she does, whether it's building a career, nurturing relationships, or pursuing her dreams. She doesn't just settle for ordinary, she strives for greatness, and it's that drive that sets her apart. 8. The need for meaning. Everything has to have a deeper purpose for her. She doesn't do things just for the sake of doing them, whether it's a job, a relationship, or a project. She needs to feel like there's a greater reason behind it, something that connects her to something bigger than herself. If she's spending her time and energy on something, it has to align with her core values. She doesn't just want to go through the motions of life, she wants to make an impact, leave a mark, and feel like her efforts are contributing to something meaningful. This isn't about seeking recognition or accolades, it's about knowing that what she does matters. If her job feels shallow or disconnected from her personal values, she won't hesitate to move on. She'll leave it behind without looking back, knowing that her time is too precious to waste on something that doesn't resonate with her soul. It's the same with relationships. She doesn't have room in her life for superficial connections. She craves deep, genuine relationships that are built on mutual understanding and growth. If a relationship feels stagnant or lacking in purpose, she'll walk away without hesitation. She understands that life is too short to spend it in relationships that don't add value or meaning to her life. This need for meaning isn't just a preference, it's a necessity. It drives her decisions, shapes her choices, and influences her actions. She needs to know that what she's doing has purpose, whether it's her career, her friendships, or her passions. It's not about doing things to please others or to meet societal expectations. For her, true fulfillment comes from knowing that she's contributing to a cause or goal that resonates with her deeper sense of self. When she finds something that aligns with her values, she pours herself into it. She gives it everything she's got because she knows that it's worth the effort. She wants her life to be full of meaning, not just surface-level accomplishments. She seeks out experiences and opportunities that make her feel alive, that challenge her to grow and evolve. She doesn't want to settle for the ordinary, the mundane, or the unimportant. She wants to know that her time, her energy, and her love are invested in things that matter. And if something doesn't align with that, she's not afraid to let it go. She'll move on without hesitation, knowing that there's something better waiting for her, something that will fulfill her deeper need for meaning. Here's the most important thing. These habits, these traits are her superpowers. They are the essence of who she is, and when she truly embraces them, rather than pushing them down or trying to mold herself into someone else's idea of normal, that's when she taps into her full potential. Think about it. Her deep empathy, her rich inner world, her quiet strength, these aren't weaknesses. They're what set her apart. Her ability to feel, to understand, and to connect on a level that others can't is a rare gift. But it only works for her when she lets herself be unapologetically herself, not when she's trying to fit into a box that doesn't suit her. She doesn't have to be like everyone else. She doesn't have to live life according to someone else's standards. She doesn't need to look or act the same as the people around her. It's okay to stand out. In fact, it's necessary. Those quirks that make her seem different. Those are her strengths, her sensitivity. That's her superpower, her depth. That's what makes her a force of nature. The more she leans into those parts of herself, the more she grows. She becomes more authentic, more grounded, and more in tune with her true self. And as she does, the connections she forms with others become deeper, more meaningful. The relationships she builds will be founded on truth, not superficiality. She no longer settles for the shallow or the fake. She surrounds herself with people who appreciate her for all that she is, and in turn, she'll be able to give the best of herself. When she lets go of the pressure to conform, when she stops comparing herself to others, that's when she shines the brightest. She doesn't need to fit in. She just needs to be. The world needs her unique energy. There's no one else like her, and that's a beautiful thing. She was never meant to follow the crowd. Her path is one of her own creation, and it's in embracing that path that she truly comes into her own. When she stands in her power, unapologetically, confidently, and fully herself, that's when the magic happens. She finds her purpose, and she realizes that every piece of her, every trait, every quirk fits perfectly into the bigger picture of who she's meant to be. So, embrace those qualities that make her her. Embrace the emotions that flow so deeply, the overthinking that leads to clarity, and the need for solitude that restores her soul. These are the things that will help her become the most powerful, fulfilled version of herself. So, let's recap. INFJ females, you are special. You're a rare breed, someone who carries immense depth and complexity, and that's exactly what the world needs. Your empathy is unmatched. You think deeply, with a clarity and vision that others can't always grasp. You value your solitude because it's where you recharge, reflect, and align yourself with your higher purpose. These traits may feel isolating at times, and yes, they can make you feel out of place in a world that often doesn't understand your sensitivity. But here's the truth. These very habits and qualities are what sets you apart in a world that desperately needs your kind of energy. You have something to offer that others simply can't. Your empathy creates real, lasting connections. Your deep thinking provides solutions that others miss. Your need for solitude is not a weakness, it's a space where your creativity and clarity flow. The key is acceptance. The sooner you stop fighting who you are, the sooner you'll realize the power within you. Embrace the traits that make you unique. Accept the parts of you that make you feel different. When you do this, you'll unlock a version of yourself that is truly unstoppable. Stop trying to be something you're not. When you lean into your with strengths and accept all that you are, you'll see the magic happen. It's time to let go of the fear, the doubt, and the worry about whether or not you fit in. The truth is, you were never meant to fit in. You were meant to stand out. And when you own that, you'll see doors open, relationships deepen, and opportunities unfold in ways you never imagined. Now I want to hear from you. Do any of these habits sound familiar? Do you see yourself in these traits? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear how you've embraced your INFJ qualities and how they've helped shape who you are today. And hey, if you're into personality types and the struggles that come with being an INFJ, don't miss my next video on the 4 most common challenges INFJ females face. Trust me, it's a must-watch. See you soon, beautiful souls. Keep shining.